Check 1 2. Check. Thanks, buddy. I'm trying to. There we go. Check 1 2. Check. You got to unmute everybody, or that's. Go ahead and unmute that one. Check 1 2. Check. We're waiting on. Hey, say something. Talk to him for a second there, boy.
Yo. Peanut in the house.
What up, boys? We're about to get started here. We're about to get started.
Yeah.
We're waiting for Justice. He had to take care of a few things for us in the background. I need my paper too, bro. I need my paper. That's my bad. I'm just a shitty person. Thank you, sir. We're excited about this one, right, boys?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, Phil, you gonna just blow up on your fucking phone or what?
I'm getting this set up to look back on stuff. On
You
the
get it
phone
set-
too.
You're looking up to get set back on what?
The podcast stuff. So I got two devices going here at once.
You only need one.
I'm gonna beat you in an argument today.
So remember, you have Word up there if you either want it on that or you can use the piece of paper, whatever your little heart desires, brother. Stream Elements. What is that?
that's for Twitch.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? Do you remember how to turn on the our intro, Levi? Remember, it's the top left yellow button. You gotta turn it up. We're not ready yet. Yeah, we'll hit it. Go ahead. So turn it up. Hit it. Turn it up. Welcome to American Whiskey. As always, I'm your favorite host in the whole entire world, Big Sturge. And of course, right here, we're missing Doug. But next to where Doug normally sits, we've got Justice League.
How's it going, guys?
Next to Justice League, of course, we've got the one and only Wacky Peanut.
What's up, everybody?
I like Wacky Peanut. I think that sounds so much better than Peanut. It's just it's a good sound. It's a good ring. Wacky Peanut. Anyways, guys, it is American Whiskey, but what we like to call it is Sip and Solve Friday, where we talk about some true crime. We sit back, relax, we grab a beer, we grab a drink, we grab whatever it is we sip on, unless you got to work tonight, which he does, but we don't.
We got a nice Baja Blast.
Yeah, he's got the Baja Blast. Hasn't had a sip of nothing. It feels weird. I'll hit. All right, so we're training our new producer here. We've actually got a producer now here in the studio. Levi Denson is our studio producer. And I was really excited tonight. We were going to get rid of these colored cords, but we didn't because Phil did forget the cords. He forgot the cords and the cord ties.
And the trash can.
And the trash can.
Damn it.
It'll be here tomorrow.
But here's the thing, guys. We still love the guy. But tonight, it's a little bit of a different type of night. We are going to enjoy a little true crime talk. And the podcast title for tonight is going to be Family Secrets, a Case That Shocked America. Guys, we're talking about the Menendez brothers.
So, Sturge, on this one, this is a little different than any other one we've ever done because I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever if they did it or not.
None. And that's we're going to get into that too. That's not the case. The problem's not that they do
Right.
it.
This
But
is a
was it
little different.
justified? And tonight we're gonna sit back. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share the story. Yeah, this is my piece of paper. I actually wrote a script on telling you guys the stories. So sit back, relax. We'll talk. Of course, we got to say what we're sipping on tonight. I'm sipping on a Mick Ultra. He's sipping on a Rogue.
No, we've already talked about Baja.
Yeah, he's got a Baja.
You're sipping on.
He's hitting hard stuff.
Yeah.
I am sipping on a Bush Latte.
But guys, this is case number 3. Welcome back to Sip and Solve. Of course, we're excited that you're here. We're gonna, dive deep into some really perplexing criminal cases. Right? We've done it the last. This is our third one. They've been pretty wild, and at the end of the day, I thought this one was the most shocker in the news. We're going to talk about the Menendez brothers, Lyle and Eric Menendez. And, we're going to talk about the events that led up to one of the most infamous trials in American history. And what I want people to realize, not only was this case going on, but at the same time, O.J. Simpson's trial was going on.
Right.
And so that took a lot of light away from the actual trial itself. But I want to break down what happened that evening or that night. The Menendez brothers were born into a seemingly perfect world. It was New Jersey. Lyle was born 1968, and Eric the following, he followed him in 1970. Their father, Jose Menendez, was a successful businessman and married Mary Kitty Menendez. They didn't call her Mary, they called her Kitty. If you've watched the episodes on Netflix, she was a school teacher at one point. And behind the veneer of wealth and privilege lay a dark, troubled family dynamic. We're going to dive into their upbringing. Jose was known as a domineering and abusive person. Reports indicate that he had a violent temper and and he was very, very manipulative. We've met people like that in our lives. You can only imagine, but this guy was on steroids. Kitty, on the other hand, often took the backseat role, failing to protect her children at times from their father's wrath. The dynamic would play a pivotal role in the story that will follow. The brothers were raised in a culture of silence, where expressing emotions were frowned upon and their vulnerabilities were hidden. The environment set a stage for the events that would follow 1989. Now, let's discuss the night of the murders. On August 20th, 1989, Jose and Kitty Menendez were brutally murdered. And might I add, brutally, because if you watched anything on this case, it was brutal. The crime scene was horrific. Both parents were shot multiple times in the head with shotguns. Initially, Lyle and Eric were seen as some sons that were literally just hit by a tragic event. They attended their parents' funerals and gave emotional interviews to the press. Both of them, both of their behaviors in the days following the murders raised eyebrows. They went on shopping sprees, bought a new BMW, even took a lavish trip to Mexico. Now you think about that. Your parents just got brutally murdered, right? Is your first worry Rolexes, BMWs, vacations?
Hell no.
I wouldn't think so. But this leads up to the investigation. As police began to try to piece together this timeline, they grew suspicious of the brothers. In March of 1990, after the series of interviews that were conducted, Lyle and Eric were arrested. And it was actually interesting. One of the brothers was overseas at a tennis match. And he could have stayed over there. I mean, to be brought back to another country is really hard to do. So when I talk about, were they lying about everything that happened? What I will say is he willingly came back to the States after he knew what had happened, after he had killed his parents, knowing what was going to happen. He knew he was going to get arrested, but he still came back. This leads us to the whole investigation. As police pieced together, the timeline, they grew suspicious of the both brothers. And in March of 1990, a series of interviews are conducted. Lyle and Eric were, these guys. This is a hard subject. It's a tough subject, right? It's a tough subject. We're going to get into some details that probably a lot of people aren't, going to be super fond of. But the prosecution's case centered around an idea that the brothers were motivated by greed. But what you're going to hear tonight is maybe it wasn't just greed, but possibly they had a reason to do what they did. And it's a lot of people say molested, but I say completely raped. I mean, he was, you're going to hear about this, but it was this case built over greed or trauma, and that's the question.
So I know we're going to hit on it, Sturge.
We are.
I want to go ahead and let it known that I think it was 100% trauma.
Well, and we're going to go here. In the first trial, it began in 1993. The defense argued that Lyle and Eric were both victims of long-term abuse. They brought in mental health professionals to testify, and part of them, they brought in professionals that were psychologists, to prove the fact that what they went through is the reason they killed their parents. And in 1996, the second trial commenced. I jump ahead. So it was a mistrial. The first one was a shit show. It was a mistrial. The issue, like the defense had to convince the jury that the brothers' actions were the result of the trauma, right? But the challenging part of these, this thing is the fact that they had to try to use testimony of a guy, their psychologist, who they originally, confessed to. And so at no point during their appointments with this guy did they ever say anything about being molested or raped by their father. Right. And so it comes to a mistrial. But in 1996 they get the second trial, and it's a guilty verdict on both brothers. They were sentenced to life in prison without a possibility of parole. The public reaction was super mixed. Some viewed that the cold blood, they were cold-blooded killers. I don't think that they were, but while others saw them as victims of a, tragic childhood. But what do you guys think? So where were the Menendez? Were they monsters? Where do they lie? Were they monsters? Were they victims? And can you put the court of law in your own hands and are they cold-blooded killers? And so a lot of people thought of them as that, while others saw them, as that victim. And that's the question. I think tomorrow's Kate. We're going to talk about that Monday. Okay. So, I want to hear what you guys think. In the years that followed the conviction, the Menendez brothers remained in the spotlight. Their story was, and has been subject to countless documentaries, podcasts, and even we're doing it right now. We're doing a podcast on it right now.
Right.
I mean,
we're just another.
It's a case that continues to stir debate, about the justice, the family loyalty, the legacy of abuse. And in prison, the brothers have maintained their innocence regarding the, did they premeditate the crime? That's a good question. Did they premeditate the crime? They argue that they acted out of a lifetime of fear and trauma. Their story raises important questions about how, we view family dynamics and the impact of abuse on behavior. And, what we'll do is wrap up tonight's episode so we can all three talk about it tonight. It's clear that the Menendez brothers case is more than just a story of murder, right? It's more than just murder. It's not just that. We have to dig deeper. It's a complex tale of a family tragedy, psychological trauma, and the quest for justice. So I want to thank you guys for letting me get on here and share a little bit of this story. We want to make True Crime Fridays not 3 and 4 hours long. So I wanted to cut this, a little bit short So I want to give you guys an opportunity to talk tonight. So anybody that's listening about this Menendez brother that's into true crime, please subscribe, leave us a review. Join us next week as we explore more chilling true crime stories. But until then, let's talk a little bit about what happened in this case. I know both of you have done some research, and I want to hear your guys' opinion.
So, like I said before, I think it's trauma. If you're just going to kill someone, you're going to put a few slugs or whatever they use, buckshot, whatever. You're going to put a few in them, and you're going to take off.
Who the fuck's Anthony Kelly?
That's my cousin. He sent 99 stars.
Are you shitting? Very nice.
But
that's cool, bro. Appreciate that.
Thanks, buddy. But the fact that they reloaded and continued to fire showed that there was something going on in their head more than just I want to kill them.
Well, here's my question, and I'm going to add that premeditated part into it. Why didn't they say one thing to the counselor after the murder? You know, the one brother, I think it was Eric, right, that goes to him and says, "Hey, I murdered my mom and my dad." But at no point does he say, "My dad molested me. My dad raped me." No point in that.
I have a perfect answer for that.
What's the perfect answer?
Because they did try to tell somebody at one point. They told their mother, and it backfired on them. They got beat again for it.
Can I tell you what I think?
So they were scared to tell people.
I don't think that's the case.
They feared repercussion.
I think that they didn't need to tell them that because the counselor already knew that.
Well, saying that, there's another person out there that also got molested by their father.
Go ahead.
It was I forget
older brother.
No, I forget who
Lyle.
The people were. The pop star from Brazil, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Mexico, I thought.
Mexico, Brazil,
one of those,
somewhere southern, came out and said that was happening.
Pat.
He said he actually does stick around and listen.
Does he? So what do you got to add to this? I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I got a little bit on both their subjects there. They probably didn't want to advertise it a whole lot because of embarrassment and shame. That's a big role in it all. And does
that justify murder? That's the question. Does that? I mean, if that's the case, I should have murdered multiple people. Right?
Yeah, it don't.
I mean,
to me, it does not justify murder. No.
310 more stars.
Huh?
That does not alone justify murder. That justifies them not coming out completely with everything. But wasn't it? It just strikes me kind of funny that after the dad threatens to take them out of the wheel,
yeah.
Now they decide, oh, we're going to do this.
But could that? I mean, we got to realize
is it?
But the one brother was was older. The one was still his senior year in high school. Was trying to get away, to go to college and live his life. But his dad, imagine this. I'm going to get graphic. Can I get graphic?
Let's get graphic.
Okay. I want you guys to imagine this. Imagine being a father. Okay. Taking your, let's go 9-year-old son, 9-year-old daughter into a bedroom, forcefully make them get on their knees, and what they called penis massages, which is a blowjob, making your child give you oral sex until you come in their mouths, make them swallow it to the point where the brothers were making them eat foods that made their cum taste better. Now, Jen, I'm with you. At first, in this case, before I dug into it, I said, no, it doesn't justify murder. But blowing a load inside your fucking son's mouth and making them swallow it and do all the horrific things means you shouldn't be alive. It means
I agree there.
But maybe this is the mom's fault. That's where I went down that trail, and I'm like, the mother definitely knew it.
They told her.
She did nothing about it. If you tell the police that you're making your son fucking give you blowjobs and raping you, you're going to prison, right?
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of the day, does it justify murder? And that's one of the biggest questions I have. But they tried everything that they fucking could do.
It don't, to me, it don't justify murder at all. Now, if
I'm
we
a different
found out,
person, though.
if we found out someone was doing that to one of our kids,
You're killing them.
We're probably gonna kill them. But I'm gonna take my mugshot with a smile.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be trying to him haul around and make up stories.
But the thing is, though, it doesn't matter, Jason. Did the mom get raped and beat by his dad as well? It doesn't matter. The mom could have said something.
So from what I read, Jason, was when the brothers told her about it, she ran to the dad and was like, "Hey, they're starting to talk,"
and what that
and then intensified.
that comes to my second point. It's all out of greed. They're a bunch of rich silver spoon kids.
Maybe this never happened.
I mean,
right?
Mommy don't want it to be known because mommy don't want to be out doing a job.
Yeah.
She wants to sit at home and collect this money, so it's easier to just hush, hush.
Yeah. But it also could be greed on that. Maybe the dad never did any of that. That is a possibility.
It's possible.
It's possible that Jose never did any of that. But the shit that they said in trial was pretty graphic.
But then it also brings into the third party. I mean, he's already dead. Why would a third party come out almost 30 years later and be like, he was doing it to me too?
And the sounds of it is that happened to multiple kids on that tour.
But on the other hand, could this be, hey, it's time to get my 5 minutes of fame? Everybody wants their 5 minutes of fame. Maybe these other ones, it didn't happen. They just want the fame because, hell, this next trial, it's a lottery to get a seat at the trial.
It is. And here's
all these camera people and these movie producers now.
But here's what's interesting, that Phil. Let's talk about the fact that a lot of people go and they look at this and they say, look at the lavish lifestyle they were living after the murders. Okay. Well, if my dad made me suck him off and he raped me and raped my brother and did all these things, I'd celebrate.
But really,
you think I'm going to be that sad when you fucking die and go to hell like you deserve and I get a bunch of money? You don't think I'm going to blow it on a Porsche and some jewels?
Were they really celebrating, or was that just
their lifestyle?
Custom lifestyle.
Yeah, was it their lifestyle? That's good.
The poor rich kid.
Yeah, here's the question. Jen said the mom knew what was going on. She heard it from the door and walked away. Honestly, how the fuck could you not know?
Yeah.
If you and I think he was 18 years old. I think he was 18 years old and was still getting raped. Well, the dad had completely been, and that's what happened. Eric ended up telling Lyle what was going on at his older age, and Lyle became very, very upset, and they came to this plan to murder the dad, and they didn't want to leave the mom. They wanted to kill the mom too because she couldn't do anything without the dad. And listen, I'm telling you guys from personal experience, I shared it on the podcast before. I'm not going to go in detail tonight, but I've had a lot of us have a story, right? And I have one too that's very similar to things that happened to me as a kid. And if you're asking me if I would struggle pulling a shotgun in the middle of a fucking chest of a human being, it's not that hard to think of. Does it make it right? No. But does raping your fucking kid make it right? You deserve to die. You deserve to die for those actions. And if that's really what happened, they've served their time. They should have went to prison for manslaughter, without a doubt. Yeah. That should be the case. But they should not be in there today.
You also have to look at how many celebrities or people that are wealthy do something like this and never see a courtroom because they kill themselves or something like that. So maybe in their minds, they thought, oh, he's just going to keep getting away with it if we don't do something.
Yeah. And you wonder to yourself, too, let's take the rape and everything off the table. What if the whole will thing was true? Then they simply murdered their family because of the will.
It's greed.
And that's not a right to murder.
And let me tell you, that younger brother, he would do whatever the older brother said.
I agree. He looked up to him. And then you find out later, too, that his older brother was molesting him. Remember, did you guys hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lyle was molesting Eric, but did he do that because that's all that he knew? Right? Is that all that he knew? His dad did it to him, so he did it to his brother.
Right.
And it's a tough subject. It's a hard subject to talk about. but it's a subject that has to be talked about when it comes to this case. And at the end of the day, it was a mistrial on the first trial. And then do you realize on the second trial, they were not allowed to use any of the father's actions on that trial?
They wanted it to be a slam dunk case.
The prosecution, the judge, whoever you want to blame it on, did not allow any sexual harassment, rape, whatever. They did not allow it in the second. So it was a slam dunk fucking case. The prosecution won no problem at all because they would not allow anything in from that case.
But on the other hand,
That's not a fair
Yeah.
trial.
this sucks that this happened. If it did happen, it sucks it happened to these kids.
Yeah.
But how many people always blame something for why they're in trouble?
Well, I mean, that's the defense, right?
Everybody's got a scapegoat,
But
it still don't make it wrong or right.
I mean, if you rape your kid, I think it does.
I mean, it's justifiable.
It is.
But guess what? It's
How do we
still
know
murder.
that's true, though?
It's still murder.
Right. How do we know that's true?
But that
And
brings,
here's,
I mean,
Go
they
ahead.
had no rape kits done.
go ahead.
that brings me to my next point with their upcoming trial Monday. It's going to be an absolute shit show. It's a money grab. They're not getting out.
But here's the thing that proves the fact that they did get raped by their dad. The cousins.
Yep.
The cousins have testimony of them coming to their house and telling them about it. And even later in life, when I think it was junior year of Eric, he wrote a letter to his cousin saying it's still happening. It's still happening. And, but at the end of the day, you think to yourself, do they deserve to be in prison still? Like, was it justifiable? Was the murder justifiable? I mean, and at the same time, I think to myself, I don't think that murder is necessarily justifiable. You should be punished for it. But some people shouldn't be. Stop clicking your mic. I can hear it. he can't hear anything, so he's clicking it. So I don't think any murder is justifiable in a way. But there is a thing such as enough. You've earned enough time in prison. Like you deserve to be free.
But
And they deserve to be
that's
free.
what I was saying, Sturge. So under the old district attorney, there, I'm pretty sure it's California. He's the one that was bringing these guys up for their clemency and to be resentenced. He got voted out. The new district attorney has already turned down resentencing. So it's coming up on the governor to do the clemency hearing. And he already straight up said, I'm going to wait for the district attorney to get up to speed with the case. So before I give my recommendation.
Here's the deal.
So if that district attorney already said, no, we're not going to resentence them, he's going to tell the governor, no, don't let them out. But it could
go the other way. The prosecutor would be like, it should have been manslaughter. They should have been out. They should be out.
It's
Phil, what do you think? Should they be in prison or not?
It's a money grab.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, they're adults. If you don't want it done to you at that point in life, you don't have to kill them. Move the hell out. Go on your own. But no, we can't do that because then we won't have no money.
Shay said, if you take a kid's innocence like that, you need to be walked into a wood chipper, period. But the question is that true or was that a defense strategy? If you look at the attorney that defended the Menendez brothers, the trial that she won prior to that, the trial right before that, she got that kid off on the same thing.
Yeah.
So we need to know that this really truly happened, or they.
And this is where
did you watch any of the trial?
Yeah,
it's fucking insane.
Trial. I watched the movie and I looked at some of it on the internet. And
like, how can you make that shit up and cry like that? But you could.
Actors do it all the time.
It's true.
But I guess, me, if I was on the jury or whatever, that wasn't the last resort for me.
Yeah.
they were old enough. They could have left.
Well, I mean, okay, let's say so. They said they were old enough, but here's the thing. Let's go down that rabbit trail. It started when Eric supposedly when Eric was 8. You're not leaving. 9. You're not leaving.
No.
10. You're not leaving. 11. You're not leaving. 12. You're not leaving. 13. At that point, you're scared to try to leave. 13. You're scared to leave. 14. You're scared to fucking leave.
You're already
By the time you hit
traumatized and
15 and 16, your brain already knows my dad's going to fucking kill me if I try anything. Okay. Senior year in high school. You're 18 years old. You're fucking terrified of that man. You're terrified. My dad's 70 years old. I'm still terrified of my dad.
But at
So,
at that point, then if you shoot him, hey, I tried to get away. He kept coming back.
But
This
they
He
is
did
why-
try to get away. He
This is
tried to
why-
go to college, and the dad would not pay for his college unless he stayed home.
and
Hey,
I
guess
can,
what? Daddy, keep your money. I'm gone. Deuces.
I know,
can
but
bring
when
this
you-
up as well, even if you're gone, what happened to the kids at Penn State?
Yeah.
College students.
I mean, as far as it goes, in Eric's mindset, no matter that's all he knew. So maybe he thought that. Maybe he's like, if I go to college, this is no. At one point, Eric said in the trial, he just thought that's what it was, just a thing. Like that's just what you did.
Well, I mean, crying out loud, his brother ain't no better.
I know,
I mean, that dude, he ought to be getting an electric chair.
but if that's the only
He's
thing you
doing the
know,
same thing.
I
Why
know
was
he
it-
did.
Why didn't he kill him?
I feel the same way. But I don't think either way. It doesn't. It's to bring up it's a touchy subject, and I've been there, but I don't think that Eric or Lyle raped Eric. I think, I don't know if it was just he grabbed his genitalia or necessarily what happened. But again, when it comes to that, and that's the only thing that I could also say the same thing. I could say, well, I molested my kids because it happened to me when I was a kid, but I didn't.
But two wrongs
So does
don't
it-
make it right?
So killing your parents doesn't make it right.
No.
So that's where I stand. At the same time, I've been molested. I've been, a lot of bad things have happened to me. But I'm a good person, I feel like, today, and I haven't made any of those decisions. But what I am telling you, Larry Spicer, my baseball coach, the story I told you guys, if I killed that man, which I thought of it in my time, it wouldn't have made it right, but I think it would have made it understandable. I think it's understandable. I would have paid my time. And again, if this really happened to those kids, they shouldn't have put the law in their hands, right? In my opinion. They should have went to prison. They should have done their time, but it's been way too motherfucking long if this is really true.
Well,
and
It's been way too
If-
fucking long.
I agree with you if they would have tried some other avenue before just.
But how do you know they
dismissing.
didn't? How do you know that avenue wasn't the doctor that the dad hired? Because let's not forget, Eric got in a lot of trouble in another city before they moved to where they were for breaking and entering. He was going down a bad path. So the court said, go to counseling. The dad found a counselor, said, you're going to go to him, pays him, says, tell me anything before you tell the court anything. How do we know that Eric didn't say what was going on and that
got
guy
paid
was
off.
paid to fuck off, which clearly he can be, right? He can be paid off because he's a fucking moron, a piece of shit counselor. And I don't give a fuck what you're if I'm a fucking psychiatrist and I got a little boy in here fucking crying his fucking eyes out that his dad's fucking raping him, take my fucking license, take my fucking psychiatrist practice. I'm going to the fucking authorities. Here's the fucking evidence, and you do your fucking thing. So how do we know that? I almost promise you Eric went to that fucking person, but then it became a greed thing for the psychiatrist, right? It became a greed thing. So he wanted to try to cover his bases and be a part of the story. So he videotapes and records the confession, right? If you listen to those confession tapes, not one time did he ask, why the fuck did they do it?
yep.
But
He never once asked him that.
As a a medical professional or psychiatrist or any of this, you're obligated. It's once something like that is said, there's no longer any private confidence.
Not in California.
Actually,
Well,
he was held.
it's
that's its own country. That's the problem.
I know,
They're
but
in
and I think there's a
California.
lot of places in the United States where you tell it doesn't matter a psychiatrist, they can't say a fucking motherfucking thing. They can't say a thing, dude.
because
The only way that he got
if
caught,
they can't say a thing. How are they getting those videos?
I'll tell you exactly how. So, you ready for this? This is how trustworthy this psychiatrist is. He's married, has kids. He has a patient of his that he ends up fucking. She's a nut job, right? She ends up hearing over what happens over in, like, she's in the next room, hears
She
what's going on.
recorded it.
She records it. Goes to the police because he's like, I'm not leaving my wife now. Well, she gets pissed. All right.
No.
She goes to the authorities and says, well, I heard the Menendez brothers killed their parents. And that's how it started. Phil, that's how it started. It didn't start because the police did a good job. I'm just going to tell you right now, police, you did a shit job. You didn't do a good job. You should be really, you didn't do your job.
The shotguns were in
woman-
the trunk.
A woman that got pissed off at a man who was married that they were fucking is the one that did it. She said, if you don't leave your husband, if you don't leave your wife, I'm going to the authorities with my evidence. What'd she do? She went. So you can't trust a fucking thing a liar says. In my opinion, once you're a liar, you're always a liar.
Exactly.
If you're going to make bullshit up, why wouldn't you make bullshit up on the stand? So here's my thing. We know what he recorded, right? We don't know prior to that. How do we know that he did not say that? But the Menendez brothers didn't do their justice. I mean, they didn't do themselves justice. They're fucking douchebags. They fucked up. The one older brother was like calling some woman and was like being cocky about the trial. And it made him look like it. But hey, listen, I'm cocky too if I finally killed my fucking parents and because my dad fucking raped me all this time. My mom fucking knew about it. So that's where I'm at, Philly. I know,
It's that whole thing just a bad situation.
But did you know about the girlfriend?
About is greed.
Did you know about the girlfriend of the physician that was
After you said, I do recall that.
Bruh, like that's the only reason they were ever found guilty of any fucking thing. The police would never have arrested them. It was the perfect crime. It was the perfect crime.
Which, like you said, they were so stupid because they had the shotguns and everything in their trunk with the police at their house.
Did you know that?
Yeah, they're trying to. The one brother was sneaking.
No,
out
there was
to hide
bullet
the
shells. There were shells. That's what it was.
Yeah.
They sneaking out to hide the shells.
But listen, guys.
So there you got tampering with evidence. So
Let me ask you something. If
obviously
you
there's
found
something
out
a little more than
It-
then I think it all comes down to greed, honestly.
it does not.
No,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot more
If-
to it than
If
greed.
they were going to do that, they'd have put a cap in them Karen's ass long before they got threatened to take out of the will. And it's premeditative.
But there's
because
no
they
evidence.
planned it.
But here's the thing. You're talking about the will, but there's no evidence of that. There's evidence that those boys were raped by their father.
Hearsay evidence.
What?
Hearsay evidence.
No. A
Where's
note.
the evidence? They got it on video.
Well, I mean, he's a sick puppy, so probably.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I don't know. What about the photos that were taken of their son that was chest down?
or the other kids that they have photos of.
Or the other people that said that they were but I'm just saying, who takes their fucking picture of their son, nipples down, naked, and keeps the photos?
there's a lot of sick people out there.
And
don't
he's
argue
one
that
of
at
them.
all.
Well, you just asked me a
But-
question. I'm
But
giving it
it's
to
not to be. It's not justified.
I think you like to play the devil's advocate
I do
because
do.
I know what you said before we started talking about this case. And you said that these motherfuckers, they deserve to be killed. I know you like to play
The
devil's
parents- the
advocate.
y'all absolutely.
So should they still be in prison?
Yeah, I mean,
They should be in prison.
if I'm going to go and I feel strong enough to kill someone, I'm going to face the time.
They've been in there for 30 years. It should have been okay.
I'm
Phil,
going to face the time. You know,
they
is that
face
30
their
years
time
later?
though. They face their time. There's how many
No,
people out
not
there
for
that
murder.
what?
It's not justified.
It is
No,
justified.
it's not. They did not attempt to leave.
They weren't able to leave.
A full-grown adult.
Okay, I'll give you this. So my siblings, before we were adopted, we went through a lot of bullshit like this. Completely terrified. If it was not for the state of Ohio, I wondered to myself today if this would not have happened until I was an adult.
I mean, granted, I have not been there,
But I'm just I'm trying to picture myself.
but I know
There's a difference between premeditated and manslaughter. Do I think they should have went to prison?
Yes.
Yes. You don't put the law in your hands. But again, as a 18-year-old, I'll say kid, your son, I look at your boy and he's a man. Well, he's a kid.
yeah, but
Hold on.
what he would do.
Hold on. If his dad made him, if he made you, okay. What would you do? Make him suck him off. And what if your dad raped you and made you suck him off? Would you kill him?
I believe to stay away from doing the time for murder, I would try every route before going to murder. But I feel like
Okay, so
were to be murder, I would absolutely.
And that brings me to what I keep bringing up.
but I'll go through.
They reported it to multiple people,
but-
and they were disregarded.
If that
Who's the most important? Sorry, I'm going to get frustrated because
ahead.
I feel very strongly. Who the fuck is supposed to fucking protect you in this fucking world when you're a fucking child? Your fucking mom. No, not your legal guardian. You know how many legal guardians, bro, I've had in my lifetime? A fuck ton. Do you know how many of those legal guardians I just wanted that one to fucking love me? It was my fucking biological fucking mother. The one mother fucking person I wanted to fucking love me. Fucking protect me. Keep me fucking safe.
And
She
let it
didn't.
happen.
Why? Because she's just like the Menendez mother. A fucking coward bitch that deserves to burn and rot in fucking hell. So this moment that a 12-gauge slug went to her fucking chest and then her fucking head because she was still alive, in my fucking eyes, is justifiable. Did she ever rape her boys? Not that we know of. But what I can fucking tell you, she should have had her fucking boys' back and not worried about her fucking money. And that's what I look at it as. Was it a justifiable murder? Yes. But should you have done it? No. So you should have been found guilty of manslaughter, spent 20 years in prison, did your fucking time, get the fuck out, and do your fucking thing. That's what I'm saying. As a job, as a fucking mother, you said you should have told somebody. You should have told somebody. Yes, they fucking did. Their fucking mother who fucking failed them. Their fucking mom failed them. And that's what you're what if I raped, molested, or did anything to my fucking kids? You know what my wife would do?
Kill you.
Put a bullet in my motherfucking head. Just like that mother should have done. Why? Because it would save their fucking kids from a lifetime of rape and molestation, and she would be put in prison for what? Not murder. What she would put in prison for? Manslaughter. That's what she would have went to prison for. So that's what should happen. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be in fucking prison.
But isn't manslaughter
Manslaughter is like if you drink 15.
in a moment.
Okay, so if you drink 15 beers and drive and kill somebody, do you go to fucking prison as premeditated? No. You go under manslaughter, you get 10 to 15 years, you get the fuck out. What's the difference? You went to a bar premeditating, you're going to drink with your homies, you get fucked up, you drive home, you kill fucking somebody,
But these kids,
and you get 10 years.
these guys didn't snap at once because of that.
How do you know that?
It was premeditated. They had it all planned out.
How the fuck do you know that they didn't try anything before? We don't know that they didn't.
But they had the murder planned out.
You know what? I had that motherfucker planned out and executed way before they fucking did. I can promise you that.
And
I promise you that, Phil.
You know how I am. I'd go spend life in prison. Someone touches my kids, or even my friends' kids.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you would do. We're talking about the Menendez brothers, and they should never have killed their parents, but they fucking did it. They did their fucking time, and I promise you, if that's the case tomorrow's the thing. Monday's the thing. I'm looking for it. When they get the fuck out of prison, I am giving them a round of applause because I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't have, first off, you no one will ever tell me I can't put my hands on my kids, but you don't have the right to fucking rape a kid. No. You don't have the fucking right to put your hands on a kid in a way that you shouldn't.
You don't have.
And I don't mean to go the fuck off. I don't mean to go the fuck off, but it's personal as well. And when it comes down to the fact that mom failed those boys, you know what? Bitch should have died. End the fucking story. Bitch deserved to die.
They should have, but it was premeditated. Therefore, you're in a whole different
minds were molded, though.
It wasn't too molded.
What's the premeditation? The fact that
they planned the murder out.
For what reason?
They had it all planned.
Well, but what it doesn't. No, it's not just premeditated. They said they premeditated it. The prosecution said the only reason they premeditated it was to get money. That's what they said. Because of the will. There's no fucking proof of that. There's no proof the fact that the dad was going to change the will. There was zero fucking proof.
And it's
what there is proof.
They didn't change the will because they got the money.
So did they premeditate and plan to kill their fucking nasty ass dad and their nasty ass fucking mom? Or did they premeditate because they didn't want to lose all that money? Because guess what? They're rotting in fucking prison now and not enjoying it.
They premeditated to kill the nasty ass parents.
But they should be out of prison. I mean,
still premeditated.
It doesn't fucking matter. Did they? I mean, we're looking at two premeditation.
Manslaughter is not a premeditated thing.
So if you go drink 15 beers at a bar for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, that's premeditated.
You didn't plan to.
The fuck if you didn't. If you go to the bar.
You don't.
Excuse me. If you go and start drinking and then you go drive, it's premeditated. End the fucking story.
You don't just slip a bottle down your throat.
Which is way worse or way less worse than fucking molesting your kid and get your fucking skull caved in with a shotgun.
You want to get into it. They should have ran him over. Even then, that's 10 years.
I'm just saying.
That's still less time than using a gun.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not with this prosecution. They got found guilty. Time out. I want you to realize.
We're talking California, too.
They think I don't give a fuck. California was way different back then, too. They got found guilty, right, of premeditated murder.
Yeah.
In the second trial without being able to use any motherfucking evidence of being raped, molested, or anything. The judge threw it out. The
second trial, they only used the will. That's literally all they used.
They weren't allowed to use any evidence from the cousins or anything like that. And by the way, one of the cousins that has their back doesn't even like the cousins.
And let's bring this up.
I mean, it's still a.
Jen said poor Dylan was caught in the middle.
No, let's bring this up.
It's still premeditated.
The family is the one advocating.
If your dad's raping you, you don't deserve to spend the rest of your life in fucking prison.
That's when you just put a fucking bullet in them and say, hey.
He did.
He did it. It's a spur of the moment. We didn't go out and have a plan to do this.
There's no evidence that they had a fucking plan. Did you listen to the trial? There is no evidence that they had a fucking plan to do it. They said, well, he went and bought the shotgun. They didn't buy the shotgun. The friend bought the fucking shotgun. And then they were like, oh, wait, what? Who did? And then they realized that he took the ID and went and bought the shotgun. These cops don't know what their fucking ass or elbow is. They're like, where's my asshole at? They look at their elbow and say, there it is. Because they don't fucking know anything during this investigation. Okay, so they got the shotgun. Was that to protect themselves? Or was it to premeditate murder? Where's the evidence? If you don't got it, shut the fuck up, move on, right? It's hearsay. We don't know.
But it was
okay. But
out.
Okay, I bought my first.
The parents would be in there watching.
I bought my first gun at 17. If my dad got shot by a 9mm, which I bought at 17 illegally, I never did though. So how do we know that they didn't buy the shotgun just to have it for protection?
And you know,
I mean, if you're raping your kid, you don't think your kid at some point in life is going to be like.
But then that's in my eyes, that was justifiable, not premeditated.
It can be premeditated
and justifiable. It can be premeditated. There definitely can be premeditation and justifiable at the same time.
But on the other hand, I'm like you say, I'm always devil advocate. The younger brother, I do believe ought to be out.
He'd be what?
He should be released by now.
Which brother?
The youngest. What's his name?
His name's Lyle. Don't worry. I studied the case. I can tell you the names.
The youngest.
His name's Lyle.
Because he just followed along with.
Or the
He
younger
shot
brother's
two.
name's Eric.
He shot 2.
What?
But
They both shot.
But you think he would have done that if his big brother was like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do."
Either way, like you're going back on what you're saying now. You're saying it's premeditated.
It's
Yeah.
premeditated.
They both,
regardless of
they
how
both
you-
did it.
no matter how you cut it, it's premeditated.
I understand, but what he's saying is you're trying to stick up for one and not the other. Both of the motherfuckers pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Both of the motherfuckers
but-
pulled the trigger.
But who's the mastermind of this?
It doesn't fucking matter. You both pulled the fucking trigger.
But
You
who's
go,
the
you go in with 2 9mm in a gas station and rob that motherfucker and shoot somebody, and you both going fucking down. I don't give a fuck who was the mastermind.
They both deserve to do 20 years.
No, I disagree. You know, you ready for mine, Philly?
I'm ready.
I love getting
I'm ready.
you and I argue in true crime, and I love it. They both never deserve to go to fucking prison.
And
They should have been absolutely. They'd be.
That's
a-
where we differ.
They should have never went to fucking prison.
Mm.
You know how many things that you can. But here's the deal: you're going into the Marines.
They should have covered
Okay.
the tracks better.
They did. They covered their. They covered their
actually did
tracks.
very
Great.
well.
They had the perfect murder. Listen,
They had some loose ends still.
If they had a perfect murder and they covered everything up, then it has to be premeditated.
no, it doesn't.
There's no way.
That's my boy.
Okay, first off, if you and I get in a conversation right now and we get heated, and I think you're a fucking moron, I pull out a gun and fucking shoot you in the head. Is that premeditated?
No.
No, it's not.
And then
Okay.
he looks at me and says,
And then,
hey,
but hold on.
Says, hey, Dylan, help me drag this big ass body out here so we can hide it.
Is that premeditated? Is that premeditated?
It is not premeditated.
Okay.
and then we go
Then
to
stop.
O'Connor's where we're seen out in public. Is that premeditated?
But
That's
also
covering our
the-
tracks.
The thing with premeditation
Oh, you
is
can?
you have to
That's
premeditate
premeditated.
to do that. So, okay, say you and
It's hard for us to judge that though because you didn't have your
But-
fucking dad's dick in your mouth either.
But
So-
and
I'm
It's
just
hard to
being
judge
honest. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm being honest. You make your fucking dad. You put your dad makes. Could you imagine that?
no, I would never.
Well, I'll tell you
It'd be a
straight up. It's the
strong
fucking
job.
worst, dude.
but regardless, what I've done,
I don't give a fuck if they planned it out 3 months earlier. They could have wrote a motherfucking manuscript that looked better than this motherfucker. I don't give a fucking fuck. Do you think what? It does that. It doesn't.
So
It
here,
doesn't matter why it's
Just do
frozen.
your
We're still
job.
on.
so
Listen
here's
to
my
me.
thing. Here's
we're
my
in a
No.
heated debate.
Hold on. So you keep hiding behind this premeditated.
I don't give a
No,
fuck.
hold on. Let me say this. So they reported it to their mother that's supposed to have their back.
They're number one person in their life.
They report
I'm
it
not-
to their
Hey, Jen,
family.
what would you do?
Hold on.
Watch
hold
this.
on.
You ready?
I am not arguing.
No,
that
hold
they're
on.
shit parents.
They report it to their other family. Who's to say they didn't report it to all these psychiatrists they've seen?
Which I
So-
said.
So they've been failed so many times here already, and now you're going to blame them for coming up with a solution to make it stop? That makes no fucking sense.
And Jason, you can't plead insanity, bro. They're not going to plead insanity. Why would they plead insanity? They weren't insane. The parents were insane.
They told people nothing was done about it, and then you're going to punish
When you're a
them for
fucking
doing
8-year-old
something.
boy and you're getting fucking raped by your dad, you don't think of these things. You tell the people that matter. They covered their bases. They told the people that were fucking mattered to them. And they didn't do a fucking thing about it. Their dad literally said, in our culture, this is what makes you a man. Well, guess what? I told my son to believe in Jesus. He says the fucking prayers before bed. What's he do now? He says his prayers before bed. Why? Did he see the factual evidence of God? No.
He just believes it.
He believes it because I told him to. So if I raped my son instead of giving him the fucking Lord's Prayer, and I said, this is what they do to make you a man, don't tell anybody. Do you think you would? Probably not. But you know what? I'm at least a halfway decent motherfucking dad to never have done that to my kid. But with that being fucking said, that little boy was fucking, what do they call that when you teach somebody something and they don't know anything,
Brainwash?
you're grooming them. He had been groomed from the age of 8. No, I think it was 5.
Yeah, for him it was way.
If I die tomorrow, I hope my kids have memories of me. They're so young, you don't know, right? They have been brainwashed since the age of fucking 5. You grew up getting raped by your dad, and he says this is how it was when I was a kid, you know. And listen, I'm sorry that they're fucking dead. I'm so fucking sorry. All right. But they groomed their, you know what? The dad groomed them. Philly, I know what you're saying. They should, okay, do some prison time. They premeditated their sickos parents, okay? But they shouldn't still be in prison, bruh. If they literally had the fucking dick of their dad in their ass at 8 years old, I don't know how, I'm a very, very graphic person. But listen, if that's really what happened, get your fucking heads out your ass and actually realize the fact that he put his dick in his son's ass. And tell me that you wouldn't plan a fucking murder of your parents. Go ahead. Take me back, Jesus, right now. And let me be a fly on the fucking wall. A fly lives, 24 hours? And within that 24 hours, I'm praying for it is fucking murder. 7. We never met this guy. What's up, 7?
He says they deserve to be free.
They do deserve to be free.
How much time have they done?
30 years.
30 years already?
30 years.
They got sentenced in what?
For being
94?
raped and for life, bro.
It's life.
Life without the
parole.
I don't know anything about the background of the case.
It's
Then
life
shush.
without
Then
parole.
shush.
Wow.
Got him. How about you produce the buttons over there and shut the fuck up?
Come on, Aether. Hit that 1/8-inch button.
Listen,
All right, let's hear your
Philly, do you understand?
You know, do they?
Here, I'll give the day, Junior.
I mean, we're going to argue about it regardless.
We're not going to. You,
I mean,
dude, should a dad
they
stick
be
their
doing
penis in an
No.
8-year-old ass?
No.
You deserve to die.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, they do. I disagree. But that's a statement that they made you believe that growing up. You smack me in the fucking mouth, you're getting smacked fucking back. You're telling me if you smack me, I can't smack you. I know a damn fucking fact. You raised that boy there better than that. You did not tell him if you get smacked back, you walk away like a little bitch.
No.
Okay, so yes, they fucking do. Everyone grows up thinking 2 wrongs that make a right. You fucking hit my kid, you do something funny, expect it fucking back. Because guess what? I don't have to do the poem 2 wrongs make a right. I'm just telling you, if you fuck with me, you get fucked with back.
Well, and
End of fucking story.
but the problem is, we can sit here and argue this all day long.
You can't
But
argue something that you got proven wrong on.
The judicial system in this
Is
country
wrong.
is jacked.
Yeah, we can agree on that one.
We agree on that. It's jacked.
When the founding fathers found this fucking country, they said you were what? Okay, that's what I thought. Innocent
Until proven guilty.
right? So if you go to trial, they should have to prove the fact that you are guilty before your lawyer is protecting your fact that you are fucking innocent, because you are innocent.
Until proven guilty.
Those bitches better, okay. I wish I could just mic drop that motherfucker. Dude. Let me mic drop this motherfucker, because that did not happen in this fucking case.
That's
But-
why they hid
But
evidence.
you know what? It didn't happen in the last case we did either.
Which case?
The Lacey Peterson. It didn't happen in that case. That was all done.
And I also said, and I also said Scott Peterson shouldn't be in prison. Did I not?
I agreed with you.
Okay.
I say he's still guilty,
It doesn't matter.
but he shouldn't be in
It doesn't matter whether you think he's fucking guilty. Did they prove that he killed his wife? No. Zippo evidence.
And that's the only thing we agreed on. They don't have the proof, but
I'm actually playing
that's
your
how
murder.
screwed up our.
I think
judicial system.
I've got a good idea to prove my innocence when I murder your fucking ass.
Okay.
Now in today's society,
You
you're
still had a
guilty.
cute butt.
Well,
I know it is
now
nice.
you're. We got to delete this live because George already premeditated this.
You got my back. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's like, well, the poor mom. No, the poor mom fucked up.
Now
Dude.
the mom's the killer.
Oh, here we go. This guy's got schizophrenia, dude.
So now
Come
you're
on,
saying
fuck
the
on.
mom's wrong, But you're still saying.
But he's trying to play devil's advocate, but also play with his emotions.
I'm just saying,
Ask me about my wiener.
are they going to? What about your wiener? Okay.
All right, talk about it. I got to pee real
The
quick.
parents are shit. I agree.
But still, Peanut.
They are both guilty.
Let me ask
But-
you this: how many people do they have to tell before they take matters into their own hands? They told multiple people, and no one did anything
But they didn't try to get the hell out.
because they were brainwashed. They did. One of them did try to go to college, and dad told him no.
Well, then, you know what? Hey, screw you, pops. I'm out.
But it's harder than that.
Not really.
When you are grown up, wealthy as fuck, given everything, and all of a sudden they say, "Hey, you're not getting any
Nice.
money." You're like,
What
"Oh
up?
shit, how do I
What up,
survive?"
Madre?
You got to get a job.
But it's hard when you're groomed from the age of 5 of you're given everything. You don't have to work a day in your life to be like, "Oh shit, now I got to work."
You know, and I guess that's where I'm thankful that I'm just a poor peasant over here.
Right. But when you're wealthy like that,
it's greed.
It-
Greed makes you do evil shit.
I don't think this is greed on their part though.
I think
Oh, yeah.
there's some
Oh, yeah.
greed in there. I mean, look, this whole thing, if there wasn't any greed,
Do you wanna
this
add
whole
something?
thing wouldn't have happened.
You want to? Hey, shut up for a second. Levi's in here for a second. You want to say something?
The only thing I'd have to add is I think they have done their time for what they did, and you have to think about the opposite side of it is put yourself in their shoes. And if that were to happen to you, do you think by 30 years of your life has been taken? Say average lifespan, like 80 years or whatever. By this time, you gotta be out. Either way in the judicial system, you took another life.
My pen here. I got put my
You
pen.
took another life at the end of the day. So they're
Yeah.
gonna look at it as murder.
You took no. First off, Bob, you said it wrong. You took 2 lives.
2 lives. Whatever. Okay. Either way, it's your life. Your life is done. You're behind bars for
You
this.
took the
Bro.
lives of somebody that fucking raped you.
Yeah.
That nobody was
But
protecting you.
either
from.
way,
Including
in the
mom.
eyes of society, if it was correct, in the eyes of the judicial system, it would not matter.
Judicial. You said judicial? Judicial.
Judical.
Thanks, buddy. But that's the
Hey,
truth
Bob,
of
you
it.
got me fucking anxious over here. I'm not supposed to be over here anymore. I'm still trying
Get the hell out of the
I'm
couch.
still trying to argue with you.
Yeah, we're gonna argue some more at this point.
Okay, I got another point for
All
you.
right, all right,
I got another point for you.
okay.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. All right. I hate that this would ever happen. Let's just create a person so this is not so personal.
Okay.
Jimmy John Jenkins marries this woman.
Ooh.
Okay. Her name's Bertha Brown Fender. They have a kid named Cannon XA. Okay.
Well, I gotta write this shit down.
No, you don't got to write it down. I got you.
I know Jimmy John because
So Jimmy John is at work one day. Finds out somebody broke in his house. Ends up raping the wife, killing the kid. Okay, just put your feet in that situation shoes, not a person's shoes, but that situation shoes. Okay, whether it be the kid that dies, or let's say the mom and the kid are both murdered. Okay,
Yeah.
and you're gonna put your shoes inside Jimmy John's.
Mm-hmm.
He gets home from work, sees the situation, calls the cops. Year and a half later, after he told the cops, nothing's still done about it. But you know who did it. Hey, Bub, let me
A
ask you
year
a
and a
question.
half later, I know who did it. Then
What?
a year and a half later, I finally know.
You
who did
still
it.
know who did it,
Do I
right?
know who did it at
Yeah.
that time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why the hell call the cops?
Okay, so let's
But they
picture
don't do
this.
anything about it.
Let's
I
picture
wouldn't call
this.
the cops anyways. I'll be in the front door and out the back, and I'll wipe out the whole house.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Hey, thanks, Jen. I love you. Okay, so let's do this.
Okay.
Your dad, Jimmy John's dad. Let's make something else up. Let's say Heinesen. Heineken is a kid, and he's getting raped by Kanono, and he's getting fucking raped, right? 8 years old until he's 18 years old. Tells his dad or tells his mom, tells 3 friends, tells a couple cousins, tells an aunt, tells a fucking psychiatrist. You're 18 years old. Try and get the fuck out of there, right? Dad says, you're not going to college. You're going to stay right the fuck here. Why does he want you to stay there? Because he wants to continue to fuck you, right? So he can't fuck you when you're at college. So my question is, does he have a right to fucking in his life? I mean, if you have the right as Jimmy John to kill the fucking man that the cops already know who did, but they can't prove it, right? We see this all the time, right? I mean, Long Island serial killer, same thing. They don't have any evidence, so he's just sitting there. O.J. Simpson killed a guy, same year, right? 89, right? He was innocent. So are you going to take the fucking bullshit American judicial system as a boy brothers who got fucking raped from 5 years old till you're 18? Are you going to take the chance like Jimmy John did for a year and a half and go through all the fucking bullshit? Or are you just going to handle fucking business? Because guess what? That's how shit was handled when the world was created.
If
you fucked up, you got the repercussions.
But that's the difference of what's going on here. If that happened to me, what the hell I got to lose? I don't give a shit. I'm taking them out.
They didn't give a shit.
And I promise you,
you know what?
If you came home,
I'll do my time. I'm not going to be sitting here going.
But your time wouldn't be even close to what theirs is.
They've actually
No.
Yeah.
They've actually admitted that what they did was wrong.
They never said they didn't. When they went to prison, they said they did it. My point is, Philly, you had a year and a half to sit on it. If you're Jimmy John, right?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this shit. I'm taking care of business.
Yeah.
What?
They
were 8 years old. They were 8 years old until they were 18. That's 10 years? Sure.
10
They premeditated it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your fucking point?
And Jason,
But if it's premeditated, I mean, do your time.
Jason said it
They
earlier.
did their time.
Jason Davis.
They've
said
been
it
in for
earlier.
30 fucking years.
Hey,
What do
Jason.
you think you would get if we did that?
I promise you it wouldn't be 30 years.
You
If
don't
I
think?
found out that what you asking if someone came here, murdered my wife and my kids, and then I fucking killed the guy that did it, you really think I'd get 30 years? You're high off your fucking ass.
I think you would.
You are. I understand it's fucking murder. There's different.
That's where our
You're fucking high off your ass if you think I'm getting fucking 30 years. You're fucking high off your ass.
This here is cut and dry. This is what the law says. Cut and dry. That's how our judicial system.
I can't use that as that. That's my script to the fucking podcast.
I know, but that's how our judicial system operates.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Then why is OJ fucking innocent?
Well, because he done paid some motherfucker.
Do you know how many fucking okay, judicial system is so good right now. Why is 32% of the people in prison for manslaughter enter and they're probably innocent?
Hey, Levi.
Well,
You said there wasn't enough evidence.
everybody in prison's innocent.
Then how come OJ got found guilty and
Ask
had to
him.
pay a shit ton of money to the families in civil court? Because he was found guilty there.
Oh, fuck. That's all there.
No,
No. But that's the difference. When you
Yes,
got money,
it happens all the time.
when you got money, you get what you want.
They have money. They didn't get what they wanted.
Well, they didn't have money. The
Yes, they
parents had
do.
money.
They do now.
Oh, they do now, and they're going to get even more money off of the TV.
Are you talking about no? Bob, you should do your fucking research before you say that.
Well, they're
Because
making it a shit show.
everything, huh?
They're making it a shit show. You know
Who is okay? Who's making the shit show?
the
Menendez Brothers?
no, the media.
Can I tell you who brought up and who took their case? Pro bono.
Yep.
But
Nobody. No. Well, you can.
who's making the shit show out of it? The media is.
Well, people like you that say that they should be in prison still.
I mean, You do the crime, you do the time.
They have.
That doesn't make it a lifetime in prison. I go wrong. Just because you kill somebody doesn't mean you should get forever in prison.
So you don't believe in an eye for an eye either, do you?
I do.
They actually.
Well, it's kind
So
of an
you
eye
don't
for
think
an eye.
molesting your fucking kid and raping your kid and getting killed is an eye for an eye? Because in my opinion, you shouldn't got anything.
I mean, but then again, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do this crime because I'm fucking sick of
You
it.
high up. Can I be honest with you?
Please be.
You high off your motherfucking ass. If you think you can molest your fucking kid, get fucking popped in the fucking brain, and not think that's an eye for an eye. I just try to picture it, dude. I'm like, okay, a dad and his son, 8-year-old son, get on your fucking knees. Why, Dad? Because you're gonna give me a penis massage. Okay, well, he should have died then.
Yep.
He should have
I
been
mean-
murdered by the fucking mother then.
That didn't do shit
I would
about
have
it.
probably bit it off anyways.
Well, that's not an eye for eye, bud.
Oh, it-
No, it's not. An eye for an eye would you blow him next. And then he's gonna blow you
There ain't
next.
gonna be enough to blow.
No, we're gonna do it.
it.
No, we want to live off of the eye for an eye. If you blow me, I blow you. That's an eye for an eye. You put your dick in my ass, I'll put my dick in your ass. You want to go eye for an eye? That's an eye for an eye. Now let's go fuck up for a fuck up. You rape me, you're fucking dead. Because guess what? Back in biblical days, back in good old days, you stole something, you got your hands cut the fuck off. You raped somebody, you got your fucking dick. You get your fucking dick cut off. You keep doing more crimes more than you should have, then you get fucking your head cut off and hung on a fucking silver platter that says don't fuck with us.
Yep.
Guess what? Those boys did what they should have fucking done. What's up, Dean? You're in a real deep conversation, brother. I don't know how to go. I don't know where to
Menendez
start.
Brothers.
You told your fucking mother. If my kid told their mom that I was fucking raping them,
He'd get shot.
no, fuck no. I'd get chained to something, dick cut off, fingers cut off, tortured to fucking hell and back with a wine bottle in my ass, and then killed.
One man, one jar.
And then fucking killed. They told, you keep saying they should have said something. They should have went through that. They did go through the protocols. They told their fucking mother. Their job was to tell their mother. The mother's job then is to tell the fucking authorities or kill them. Because guess what? Justified. If that mother's like, I killed him because you don't think there's people that gotten off on murder for less, you're fucking high off your ass. There, dude. There's so many people that have committed murder that didn't see a fucking jail time, yes, but a day in prison. A dad raped 2 boys.
Well, way more than 2 boys.
Well, that's a fact.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a fact. Those boys do not deserve to be in prison. Now let's just sit back and be like, you know what, you're right. They should have done their time. You keep saying they do the crime, they do their crime. They do their time. They do the crime, they do the time. Yeah, they did their time. It's time for it to come out now.
yeah, Doug, I just watched a video on that again the other day.
How's that happen?
It was
Share the comment.
Doug said the dude who killed that guy live on TV while he was on the phone at the phone booth got 0 time. The guy it was like a coach that was raping
Go ahead.
this guy's kid.
Papa, your son's gonna hop on.
And he waited at the airport at
We
a
need-
phone booth.
We need to meet outside.
Not yet.
You want that boxing lesson?
We'll go at it. We still gonna hug it out.
But he waited
got
at
the
a phone
gloves.
booth, and as the guy was walking by him at the airport, he turned and shot him.
Didn't the guy rape his son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like his coach.
Yeah.
But he got 0 time. This dude, these kids were raped for 10 years.
And the difference is there's actually proof.
Talk in the
that he
microphone.
killed him.
Stop talking in the microphone.
My bad. So
Yeah, it
And
was
there's
on
actually
video
proof,
that he turned
obviously,
and
it's
shot him
live
in the
TV.
head.
There was proof on the Menendez.
They said
The
they did it.
mom knew and 2 cousins knew. The therapist knew. What fuck? You want a cum sample? Can't do that because he's fucking dead. They literally said, Levi, that they try to get their dad to eat pineapple and different foods to make the cum taste different.
That's all they know.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's
all they
the
know.
point.
That's what's wrong with
You don't think they
this.
deserve to be dead?
The parents?
Yeah.
They absolutely do. From a person's standpoint, yes. In the system standpoint, no.
What is the system, buddy?
The
The
system already
system is
failed
you
them.
committed the murder.
No, the
Yes, okay,
system
okay,
is
think
you.
about it, think about
No,
it. Listen,
Levi.
listen. Sturge,
Levi, the
Sturge,
system is
listen.
you didn't commit the fucking murder until you're proven guilty.
They were proven guilty.
You have
Were they not?
no. You go into a trial in a fucking scent, buddy. You don't go in that you did commit it. They have to prove that you did, and that wasn't the fucking problem. We knew they killed their parents. Was it justified?
And they didn't let them use the evidence that made it justified.
So why were they not allowed to use the evidence?
Because the first, so there was
Because
two
the
trials.
fucked up at the end of
the judge can do whatever the fuck they want.
There was two
They,
trials.
dude, the state spent way too much money on this case. Do you really think the judge wants the prosecution to lose? Absolutely fucking not. They're paid by the same fucking person.
So the first one was a hung jury because most of it was like half and half.
About to
Where they
get
were
your
like,
dad
oh.
back up on here. You're about to get me a fucking stroke, bud. You're innocent until you're proven guilty, buddy.
Yes, that's what they say.
That's what they say, but that's not the case. You're innocent until proven guilty, Levi. That's the fucking problem. You go into a trial having to prove your innocence. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to prove the fact that I'm fucking innocent.
Nope.
Your job as an elected fucking official is to prove the fact that I don't give a fuck if they did do it. Founding fathers said you go to court and you're found guilty because the prosecution found you to be guilty, right? They did. You're not proven to be innocent. You're proven to be guilty. You should have to prove that. The whole fucking trial, second trial, they were fucking barely treading water, dude. Their number one defense was scratched off the table. They weren't even allowed to fucking use it, dude.
The judge said
The
no.
judge said they couldn't use it. They don't want a hung trial. They don't want to have to spend all that fucking money.
At the end of the day, it comes to money.
It becomes
Exactly.
end of the day, it comes to all of our elected and government officials are all about it for themselves. What benefits them more? They forgot what they're actually doing.
Listen, everything's like, Levi, I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's going to be hurtful. It doesn't fucking matter what you do in your life. Doesn't matter whether you work on a railroad. Doesn't matter if you work in a prison. You don't think a railroad worker's ever been fucking hit by a train and killed? And then the next week, they got a new person in there. You don't think? No, hold on. You don't think a fucking prison guard has ever been killed, suicide, right? Or whatever? You don't think the next week they had somebody else fill in that position?
Of course.
You don't think?
Stop because you passed away.
Doesn't matter what the fuck happens. The state they don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. What's the easiest thing to happen? You go to court. You get found guilty. The prosecution, elected official, looks good because of the guilty. And the judge has the authority to control what the fuck happens. That entire fucking thing, dude. You know what? You'd be a fucking idiot if you really sit there and you can tell me in a straight face that those boys deserve to be in prison today. Off the evidence.
But
And no matter what, you're replaceable, right? That's the point. I know I seem far-fetched and shit. Doesn't matter what you do, you're replaceable, right? They don't give a fuck. No, nobody gives a fuck. Okay, the judge doesn't give a fuck, right? They know at the end of the day, they're controlling what happens in that hearing, and they are an elected official, right? They are working with the prosecutors. It's not fucking fair. They have a reputation like, oh man, I can't believe you found those guys innocent. Well, guess what? The judge they found, and guess what? Guess who fucking held up their sentence? Not the prosecution, not the jury, the judge. They should have gotten found guilty, but they should not be in prison today.
well, isn't the the jury gives recommendation. It's up to the
I don't give a fuck
judge
if
or what
it's a
he pushes down,
recommendation.
right?
Get your fucking Billy, Phil.
Find them not-
Phil.
So if the jury find them not guilty, will the judge overrule what the jury said?
Can't do that. But what they can do is it depends on what state you live in. But some states, the jury actually says what sentence they get. But in other states, they can recommend it. But at the end of the day, the judge gives the sentence.
Ain't that what I just said? You got all worked up at me.
I'm worked up because of the fact I know, Jen, I need a bigger board. I have a $500 board. You want to buy the bigger board? So Levi's on it. If not, then shh. I love her though. Yeah, share a fucking mic.
You're sitting way too close to Sturge. You'll
No,
get
here's
slapped.
what a producer does. They shut the fuck up, right? And they just make sure the levels are good, which you haven't done.
Whoa, the levels are good.
Big dog, big dog, big dog. Hey, you asked what to do.
Little dog, bro.
I'm just kidding with you, bud. Listen, we only have a 4-channel board. We need a bigger one for sure.
Jen says sure. She gonna buy it.
All right, I'll say, don't have a stroke now. I know, Dean. I have strokes all the time, bub. You don't understand. I don't know about you, Dean. I feel strongly about this case, and it's one of those things for me where I'm gonna stand by my opinion of it and the fact that
But like I said, I personally have never been through that kind of situation. So it's easy for me to sit over here and say
I have.
what I am.
I've been through it.
I know. But that's why it's, why I stand where I stand at, because I haven't been in that situation.
I don't think you have to be in that situation to understand it.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
What do you mean to an extent? Just listen to the words. A dad put his dick in an 8-year-old son.
Then you know
That's
what?
really not
I would kill the son of a bitch too.
So
but,
they should be out of prison.
I mean, I guess if I did it, I wish I'd get out of prison. But if not, I'd still be sitting there smiling my ass off. This son of a bitch ain't doing it
Do you
again.
really think that they regret their decision?
No, I wouldn't.
They don't. They said they don't.
I wouldn't regret it at all. I'd
And they'll-
sit there in my prison cell with my 3 hots and a cot.
I don't think
and
they
wave
actually.
to
I
Dylan
don't
as he
think
goes
they
by
live.
and say,
That's what's so
dumbass.
funny. Most of them don't live in prison cells. They live in like a dorm.
Yeah, anymore.
That's
But
how
they
it
got
always
their
been.
own cells.
No, they don't.
Oh, I bet you.
Dylan, you
if,
can hit on this
if
a little
you're
bit
in
more.
for murder, you're in your cell.
Oh,
unless
you're
like a
not,
good-
dude.
Unless you got like
Dylan,
good
can
behavior
you hit on
and
this
shit.
at all?
Well, I was reading what they're actually doing next week.
Oh, he's got that.
Do murderers have jail cells? They live in a fucking dorm with 200 people.
But they got their own cell.
No, they don't.
They all just sleep together.
Yes, they got bunks.
Well, shit. I need to go back to prison again.
You ain't never been. So.
I've been there twice.
Have you really?
Yeah.
For what?
I up there in London, I put in a generator. Twice. I was in General Pop,
Jail
man.
was prison twice. Just not there.
He said,
I only
jail.
been to jail once. Been to prison twice.
I've been to jail twice. One of them was over prank calling.
Oh, I went to jail for on a Boy Scout visit.
A what?
I was on a Boy Scout visit when I was in Boy Scouts when I was young.
What did you go to jail for?
Because there was a visit there to see what it was.
Oh, I got you.
Then I went to prison.
Well, he
twice,
said I went to
'cause
jail
had
one time
put
with
in
a Boy
two-
Scout. He's like, I went to
Actually,
a Boy
they weren't
Scout visit. I
generators,
was
they're
like,
transformers.
I don't know what happened, but maybe we shouldn't share that one.
I haven't been to the new side one. I was in the old one.
A new side.
Yeah, I was in the old London prison.
Well,
that's where
I
that
think
came
I
from.
think we gave all our opinions. Dylan, do you have anything to add? I know you've been researching everything about it.
So Monday and next Tuesday is the hearings for their habeas corpus hearings.
Which is,
Pretty much, did they serve enough time to justify?
what do you think?
They should be out.
Sturge, can I be honest with you?
Huh?
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I think they ought to be out too. I just want to get you all worked up. Now,
Did you have a good time getting me worked up?
yeah, because it worked real easy.
It's a
But,
personal situation.
but
for me,
next
man.
time, could we do something like not so personal. Like
That's what we do.
Hey, Bob, can I
know.
tell you something right now? I do true crime. I did it for 3 years
got
before
one.
this podcast.
I got one.
What? Talk about it. So we can what?
I want to do Joe Exotic.
What
I'll
did
tell
she-
you that man ought to
Why
be
did
out.
why did Jen say, "Babe, that's fucked up"?
That he
What?
did it on purpose.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I'm here, man.
Yeah, I
Keep
mean,
it
I don't know
going.
much about Joe Exotic, dude.
Oh yeah, the Tiger King. Oh, dude,
I can't watch any of those
he's
shows.
very
It's
colorful.
annoying.
I'll even wear the wig in my free Joe Exotic shirt.
I'm voting no on Joe Exotic.
Oh man, come on.
Dylan?
It's gonna be fun.
I can't watch any of those shows. It's annoying to me.
I agree. He's so fucking annoying, dude.
It's hilarious.
Do you have?
I mean,
No.
what's annoying? The dude like shoots shit and blows shit up most of the time.
He's like,
I mean, he talks kind of funny.
what should be out?
My
They should be
fiance
out.
said they should be out.
Oh
Hell
yeah, for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
They should be out. But in the eyes of the law, it don't matter.
Yes, it
You
does.
still committed the crime.
We've proven that the eyes of the law see it different.
And it's sad.
Hey, don't get Dylan is the law. Respect his authority.
It's sad.
Are you
Yeah,
considered
I
law
definitely
enforcement?
agree.
Technically in Ohio, but not really.
Yeah, he's the law.
I consider.
But Dylan, do you agree
What?
that they should be out, but in the eyes of the
No,
law?
I don't.
Hey, so
agree,
Jason Davis.
because
So
we've shown you multiple times in different cases that they don't spend any time in prison.
So funny story, Jason. I'm a reviewing report. If you go back and look up reviewing report, you'll see that I did a case over her. What did I name? Hold on, let me see if I can get my buddy Bluetooth on real quick.
Bluetooth.
Headphones. You gotta have headphones on. Hey Siri. Call Mike Glassburn. Reviewing report. I know, and reviewing report. Hey, hold on real quick. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mikey?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you're on our live right now, but we're doing True Crime Friday. And
Oh, snap.
do you remember when we did Kerry Culberson's case and Vincent Dawn? And you gave
Vincent Vaughn?
remember we gave the nicknames?
You talking about Doan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doan the D-bag, bro.
Doan the D-bag. That's what it was. Vincent Doan the D-bag. That's what
Yeah.
it was. So the guy on the phone right now, guys, that you hear, his name's Mike Glassburn. He was on reviewing report with me. And we actually covered this case, Jason. There was a comment on here. It's like, you guys should cover the Kerry Culberson case and Vincent and Doan. And I was like, oh my God, we did. Doan
Yeah,
the
dude,
D-bag.
That's been a hot minute.
It has been. I have to go back and listen to that case, bro. That was a good one, though.
But how's he feel about this case?
Okay, so Mike, we want to know, how do you feel about the Menendez brothers?
Honestly, dude, I'm not even up to par on it. I mean, I know they got that Netflix documentary, but like,
Okay, so if you rape your kid and you get murdered, is that justified?
if you rape your kid and you get murdered, no, that's not justified. Like, it's a touchy subject because of how severe of the crime it was and leading up to the crime. But I mean, like, if you murder somebody, obviously, it's you should do jail time or life sentence, whatever, death penalty, whatever it is. So,
Well,
I mean, like I said, if I was actually watch the documentary and dig
you
into
need to
what
watch it.
So you can get raped for 13 years, defend your life, and then you should have to get the death penalty.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but
I put him on the spot though.
I know.
Yeah, we did.
We
oh,
can't.
it's all good. Now, hey, if the older two of mine, they watch that Netflix thing. Like,
Yeah.
they'll tell you anything and everything about
Well,
it. But
go and watch the Menendez brothers, and then come back to me and tell me what you think.
did you watch it? I'll say I thought Paisley said she watched it, but
All
she
right.
heard of it.
Go watch it, and then we'll have to get you back on here. I just had to call you because I thought we covered the Kerry Culberson case. Doan the
Yeah,
D-bag.
Hey, all that stuff was on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, stuff
It's
like
still
that.
there.
You're talking 4 or 5 years ago.
It's been a while,
So-
dude.
How do you feel about
Yeah.
Joe Exotic?
He loves Joe
Dude, Joe,
Exotic.
dude, let me tell you something.
Mike loves him, bro.
Hold the phone, pump the brakes. All right, Joe is an American hero. All right,
Yeah.
I don't care.
He put a hit out on somebody, bro. You do the crime, you do the time. Remember?
You know that bitch Carol Baskins.
Hey, I hope Trump pardons him.
It's not gonna
That man
happen. He
needs to
didn't
be
do the
free.
first time. He ain't gonna do it now.
Thank you.
So hey, I'm just saying, where the hell is Don? Don was ate by a damn tiger at Carol's home. I guarantee it.
Oh, you
Guarantee
know
it.
it.
All right,
funny
Mikey.
story is
We'll have to
funny
get
story with tiger.
one of our newest guys. His name's Peanut Mike. He's on our podcast now.
I've been watching it.
He wants to do true crime on Joe Exotic. So when we do that, we'll have to have you in.
It'll be YouTube show.
Well, just let me know because how busy my schedule
I
is.
know
with
you're so busy, you
softball.
fucking pussy bitch. But yeah, sounds good, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right,
All
later.
right, peace. So you just heard from Big Mike. So we can do the Kerry Culbertson case. I'm well versed on that case. Big Mike and I did that years
I'm
ago.
gonna have to look into that. I don't know nothing about
The
it.
one, it's a crazy one. But Big Mike named Vincent Doan the D-bag. It's a good case. So we're gonna end where we're at tonight. Of course, guys, we appreciate you guys hopping on here and joining us. We get well excited on it, and I get pissy as always. But as always, I'm Big Sturge.
Dougie's all about some Joe Exotic.
Fuck
I'm
you.
Justice League.
Peanut.
And we are
American whiskey.
American whiskey motherfuckers. Peace. Love you guys. End stream. I gotta teach this guy in the stream, boy. We're teaching this guy. Fred, we're loud, bro.